This is just a quick segment about racking and breaking the balls. What I'm going to do is show you what to look for and how to break the balls, and the routine I normally go through every time I'm either watching somebody rack them or I'm racking them myself. First off, let's say I rack them myself. If I'm breaking the balls, I always like the 1 up front, and behind the 1, 2 dark balls, the 2, the 8, the 4, the 7. Doesn't really matter, just as long as it depicts the difference between a bright ball and a dark ball. That way you can split them a lot easier. What I like to look for when somebody's racking for me, a lot of times people try and twist the rack. So let's say I'm breaking to this corner pocket, and my opponent's been a gambler for a lot of years and they know a lot about the game. What they're going to try to do to you most of the time, if you don't know what to look for, is twist the rack. And what I mean by twist the rack is, like I said, I'm going to break to this pocket. What they're going to do is slightly, and what I mean by slightly is just a little bit, turn these balls up this direction. What that does is give the cue ball a kiss down here to a scratch, or a kiss to a 2-rail out and sell out the break. So if your opponent is twisting the rack up this way and you notice they're doing it, you can switch it up on them and go to this side and break after he racks the balls. If you take the cue ball to this side and break, you're never going to get a kiss. The balls are angled up this way. You just switch it up on them and break from that side. That's one thing to look for. When they're twisting the balls, you've got a hard time missing this kiss to scratch in this corner pocket. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to break the balls, or how I believe you should break the balls playing this game. This is going to be my pocket. Like I said previously, I've got the 1, the 2, and the 8 in the back, so I can see the edge of the 1 real clearly. I want to clip the 1 with extreme high right hand English. The closer the cue ball is to the rail here, I believe on a diamond table, is better. I don't know why for sure. A little further out on a Brunswick I break it, but just a fraction is the difference to me. I like probably about 2 inches from the rail. I'm going to clip the 1 with high right hand English, and the objective of a great break is to have a ball low, a ball here, maybe a ball out here somewhere, and the cue ball frozen from here to here, somewhere up here on the rail. If not frozen, at least close. I don't think I could do that on the first take, but I'm going to give it a try. That's actually not a bad break. The cue ball's not frozen. Let's say it was here. This guy's in big trouble. I've got a ball low. I've got a ball high. I broke those pretty good right there. I'd take that most of the time. This is a break I wouldn't use with counterfeit money, but Keith McCready likes it. And maybe if you were Gomer Pyle playing Grady Matthews, you could use it. But this is something fun to practice or mess around with when you're at home. If you ever master it, come see me. Well, I've got a rail, 9 doesn't go, I got balls to my side. I feel like I got lucky there. Here's another situation after the break where my opponent has pretty much put me in a bad position to where I can't do much of anything. He's broken the balls very well. I can't do anything down here. I really can't do anything at all. I don't want to take a risk of shooting the 12 into the 1 or trying to get the cue ball up in here somehow. This is a shot that a lot of you have seen me use after the break on a consistent basis. The 8 ball's frozen, the 3's a little bit off the rail. This is obviously my opponent's pocket. The 6 is out a little bit. Here I'm going to take a foul. You'll see a lot of top players do this, and a lot of weaker players hate to do this, but in these certain situations it's the best thing to do, and I'm going to show you why. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to roll the cue ball up And I'm going to hit this rail first because it's going to control the speed a little bit better than going ahead and just trying to lag it to this rail. But I'm trying to get the cue ball down here. Anywhere down here in this area is going to be fine. And hitting this rail will die the cue ball off a little bit easier to where it's closer to the rail. So basically I'm just going to take a foul and then I'll show you why it's so effective from up here. Okay, now he's in this position. Now it's my opponent's shot, obviously. The reason I like this shot so much and the reason it's so effective is because, like I said, the 8-ball's frozen. Even if it's not frozen, they've got pretty much a 9-foot combination and anything could go wrong, and they've got a lot of pressure on him. If he shot that combination and missed it, well, I'm going to have a shot on the 1-ball. He can't cut the 6-ball in because he's going to open up the stack if he misses. So basically what you're doing is you're forcing your opponent to do something. After he laid down a good break, you're putting the pressure right back on him. This situation is coming up all the time in one pocket. Everybody's breaking the balls good, and this is a way to turn the table on your opponent the minute he lays down a good break. You can just take a foul and put him back in another position to where he has all the pressure on him. What does he do from here? I don't like being in this position. Here's a situation after the break where he broke him pretty good. Got the 11-ball up and the 1-ball down, but one thing that he didn't do good enough is hide his cue ball up here. So I can see the 1-ball. This being my pocket, basically what I'm going to do is cross the 1 to my pocket with a tip of high right-hand English, and I'm going to play to run into the 11-ball. If I don't make the 1, that's fine, but I want to leave it somewhere near my pocket. That way it puts pressure on my opponent, and hopefully I'll have him hidden behind the 7-ball. Basically that's exactly what you want to do. You notice I didn't hit the ball very hard. A tip of high right-hand English. Just cross the 1 to your side of the table. That shot comes up quite often after the break. This is another shot I like. Bad situation here. The ball's frozen. You can make it for him. This being your opponent's pocket, just bring the cue ball up here somewhere. Or there's not much else you can do. You can try and kick it, but 90% of the time you're going to scratch, and this ball's frozen, so you'd have to get a rail. I like clipping the 1-ball, kissing it, sending the 1 this way. Mind you, I'm not really trying to make it, but with that kiss, it's going to send the cue ball up here, and the 1's going to come to my side of the table. Mind you, I'm not trying to make it. If I do, it's a bonus. Can't hit that shot much better. It was our second take, I'll be honest, but look at the situation. You try this shot at home, you're going to end up really liking it. Not a lot can go wrong. Here's a spot after the break that I don't normally like to be in, but it comes up quite a bit. I can't do anything up here. The 11-ball's high, and I definitely can't do anything down here. So naturally, when I see a couple balls like this, or even 1 ball down here, I want to go 3 rails with the cue ball. Coming in at this angle to the 4th rail with ball speed to just touch the rail, and if I don't hit the 7 going in, I'm going to at least have the cue ball down here to where he has to do something defensive to get out of this position. So I'm going to play the cue ball 1, 2, 3, into the 4th rail with speed to where the cue ball is going to stay here even if I don't get a rail. I accidentally hit that ball perfect. Now he's in a position where he has to do something. He has to come off the 11. He can't see the 5. He can't go through those 2 balls. It's an effective shot. Even if I don't hit the ball or get a rail, and your cue ball stays down in this area, it's an effective shot. It's a lot better than going 1 rail. You could kiss off those balls and scratch, or you could scratch straight in. Okay, here's a shot I really enjoy after the break. A lot of you have seen me shoot it, a lot of you haven't. This is a powerful shot. This can change the game around in a heartbeat. This is his pocket. He broke them okay, but the problem is, of course, he left me a look at the 5. A lot of you probably don't know what I'm going to do, but this is a pretty simple shot. I'm going to go into the bottom rail, low left-hand English, and I'm going to hit it with some speed. it's going to kick the 5 to this rail and into these balls. The balls don't necessarily even have to be laying that good to shoot this shot, as long as you plan on sticking the cue ball here. Left hand English on the bottom left part of the cue ball. You're going to kick the ball one rail into the stack. Something might go, the 5 could kiss off the bottom of these balls. As long as you leave the cue ball here, it's protected, because normally there's a couple balls down here that are going to be protecting whatever comes over this way. So let's see what happens. Basically, that's all I want to do in that shot, is protect the cue ball. I got lucky and moved the ball down here, but that's going to happen 90% of the time. Either that 5 is going to kiss off the bottom of them balls, and a lot of times you'll make it, sometimes you won't, but something's going to end up on this side of the table, and the cue ball's down low, protected by one of these balls. Just turn the whole game around in one shot right after the break. It's a powerful shot. I shoot it all the time. Hopefully you will too. Another situation, this comes up quite a bit too. Let's say they almost hit a good break on you, but they didn't get the cue ball up high enough. Can't do nothing with the 7, can't do nothing with the 15, and you're looking at the 12 dead in the face. That shot that I showed you earlier isn't going to come up. You can't kick below it. The shot is, with a ton of left-hand English, is to kick straight behind it. I have just enough room, and it comes up all the time. You kick behind this ball with enough English where you're hitting this ball thin, the cue ball is going to come through to here. The next thing you know, you're going to have a ball over here, and your cue ball is going to be wedged up in here, and your man's going to be kicking for the chicken. One take's all I need. That's how it is. And that's how it's played. It's a very simple shot. The only key to that shot is enough English. Not high, not low, straight left English. That way when it hits the ball, it takes the rail and it travels this path, not that path. Here's a situation after the break where I can only see 50% of the one ball. I can see half of the one ball. I could do something really easy and bank the 2 up and put the cue ball in the corner pocket, but I want to do something more aggressive here. It's a little bit more of an advanced shot, but I like shooting a shot. I'll shoot it every time. I'm going to bank the 1 since I can only see half of it. I'm going to bank it back this way into these balls. A lot of times after the break there will be balls pointed your way, so that's another piece of advice. Always look at what's going towards your pocket after the break, because things go that you might not see. I'm going to bank the 1 back at these balls here, and with high right hand English, 1, 2 rails, I'm going to run into the 7 ball. So let's see what happens. Once again, I'm going to bank the 1 into these balls, high right hand English, I'm going to come 2 rails into the 7. Something should go my way, and it turns the whole game around. And you do not have to hit this ball too hard. That shot is so effective right there. I didn't hit the ball hard. High right hand English. A lot of people will never see that shot. Very few people see that shot. Practice this shot at home and you're going to enjoy it. I love this shot. My partner Fast Lanny brought this to my attention. I shoot this quite a bit. Once again, there's not much you can do here because of the 12. Yeah, I could cross the 15 and run into the 7, but the 12 is there. I really can't do much down here, to tell you the truth, unless you're better than me, which is going to be hard to believe. Basically, it's real simple what I'm doing here. It looks like the 1 is real scary, but it's not. I'm going to bank the 5 to my side of the table, and I'm going to play the cue ball 1 rail into the stack. What can he do from there? You tell me. In a bad spot all of a sudden. Can't shoot at the 1. Can't shoot at the 12. He's got to do something with this ball. Okay, he can see it. He's got to do something with this ball. When he does, now you're open to use this ball. 2 shots, you're out of his break. Looks like he broke him pretty good on me here. This being my pocket, I only see 1 shot. I could slow rope kick the 9 up, but he's just going to bank the 15 or put me in the stack. I'm going to use extreme right-hand English. I'm going to cross the top of the 9 over to the corner. The cue ball is going to run into the 12. I should be safe at the same time. This is basically all I'm trying to do in this shot. It turns the whole game around. That ball being there is what allowed me to shoot this shot and keep it safe. That ball normally always comes out. So when they get a ball in front of their pocket, you can shoot that shot 9 times out of 10 and get safe. This is basically just a defensive shot here. He broke them good on me. Pretty simple shot. I'm going to bank the 15, 1, 2 rails, this being his pocket. And I'm going to use a touch of right-hand English, so when it catches the rail, being the cue ball, it will creep behind the 12 ball. You don't have to hit this shot hard. You practice it a few times. It's a pretty simple shot. Basically, that's all you have to do. You cover him up with the 12 from the long rail bank. He can't see the whole 9 ball. He's got to get out of this somehow, so it's an effective shot. I previously showed you this break, and I kicked one rail down, moving that ball over, moving this ball up, and the cue ball ended up here. The reason why I'm showing you this is a simple player could just go ahead and roll the cue ball up, and let's say he tucked under the 1 ball like this. Well, there's not much that's going to help you there, because here's what he's going to do. He's going to 2-rail the cue ball into the stack, and you're going to be in the same trap. So you might as well do what I said before. Take a chance. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Try and move something to your side and take something out. Nothing else goes. It's very simple, because this is what he's going to do. What does that do for you? What does that do for you? It really does nothing for you. Okay, now you do this. We can go further into the game. Now you do this. And he'll put you right back. Nothing good happens to that. That's why I'm showing you what I'm showing you, because out of the break, you have to come with a power shot. That's why it's power 1 pocket. You're not going to win games by tipping balls around after the break. Here's a situation after the break where he broke them real well on me. I don't want to do much here. If I wanted to come off the 3, I could run into the 9. Pretty risky. A lot of things down here are real risky. Simple defensive shot here. The only ball I can see full is the 15 ball that's on the top side. And what I want to do here is come off the 15 with low left-hand English and just creep the cue ball down in this area somewhere. Basically, that's what I want to do. Another thing with that shot is you'll notice I hit the ball a little bit harder to where I got the 15 back over to my side. That way you don't leave him a long rail bank. It's an effective shot. It's a defensive shot, but it guarantees you another shot. Here's another situation where he didn't get the cue ball high enough after his break. He broke them pretty good, but he let me see the 1. What I like doing every time on this shot is 2-railing the 1 into the stack, into the pile of balls, and moving balls this way. You've got these 2 balls as protectors, and those balls are there quite a bit after the break. If he doesn't get this ball high enough, he's in trouble. This is a power shot. I'm going to hit this ball with some speed. I'm going to plan on killing the cue ball in this area somewhere, so you really don't have to worry about the 1. The 1's going to take care of itself. Just play the cue ball right here. All of a sudden, I'm going to win the game from here. I love that shot. It's effective. Comes up all the time. Okay, here I am once again. A lot of times, the break situation is abnormal. A lot of times, you see situations that you don't normally expect. Well, don't worry, it's going to come up. This shot comes up all the time, too, and I can't wait till my opponent breaks them like this. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to play the 6 ball into the balls. I don't care what's here. I'm playing the 6 ball into the balls, and I'm playing the cue ball into the 5. I'm sweeping everything this way in one shot. I'm killing several birds with 1 stone. And this is what I love to do. It's called power 1 pocket. This is what it is. It's truly what it is. I moved everything from his pocket all in one shot. Changed the whole game around. You can turn the game around in one shot. That's what this game's all about. It's not 1965 anymore. No disrespect, but this is a powerful era, and One Pocket's a powerful game, if you listen to me. He broke him good on me again. This is a good shot that I really enjoy. The 3 and 13 are kind of tied up. If I leave the cue ball anywhere up here and there's balls in front of my hole, he can't shoot at these two balls. I don't want to do anything with the 5. It's frozen. I could double kiss. I could do anything with that ball. I'm going to play the 10 into the balls. You guys have seen this shot before, and a lot of you haven't. I'm going to play the 10 one rail into the balls with a center cue ball stun. And I'm going to play the cue ball there and up here anywhere. If I get lucky, I make a ball. If I don't make a ball, there's going to be balls in front of my pocket to put pressure on him to where he cannot shoot these balls. Basically all I'm trying to do. I just turned the whole game around in one shot. He can't shoot the combination. I can do anything here. Here's a good shot. He made a little mistake this time after the break. The cue ball got up a little high. And I can't see the 10. I'm just barely hooked from the 12 and the 1, but I can see the 1. And I notice these two balls down here. So what I'm going to obviously try and do with high right hand English is I'm going to bank the 1 off the rail, coming this way, and I'm going to play the cue ball down here, hiding the cue ball behind the 6 and the 5. So I'm going to bank it with right hand English, a little high right hand English. The right hand English is going to make the 1 come this way when it hits the rail, so you're sure that it hits the balls. So at the same time you're hiding the cue ball, you're going to move some balls to your side, and if the balls are laying right, you can make one. That's all you have to do. I protected the cue ball, I've got a shot, I made a ball, switches the whole game around. That shot comes up a lot. We all know there's definitely several different scenarios after the break. I mean, a lot of things can happen. Sometimes you're going to get this. The balls don't break right and you're going to get this. There's a ball in front of his pocket, you got a ball up table. Well, even good players don't know what to do from here. The shot that I shoot, and you're going to watch me shoot every time, is this shot right here. I'm going to 2-rail kick behind the 3 ball. I'm going to go into the stack, move balls over. What's the name of the DVD? Power One Pocket. The cue ball is going to float up into the 1 ball. It's not an easy shot, but if you try it at home, I guarantee you, weak, middle, or great, you're going to get it. What this does here, it's obvious, is that you sweep this ball from the, obviously his side of the table. You move the ball that was in front of his pocket to your side of the table. He's blocked here. You're sweeping his ball, moving your ball. If you get lucky, the 3 ball will kiss off and go in. Obviously I didn't make it, but all of a sudden he's in a bad spot. Who broke the balls? This segment here means a lot to me. This is about taking fouls. Fouls are a big part of my game and a big part of anybody's game that wants to play it correctly. So let's say that your opponent just broke the balls, and in my opinion you're in a pretty big trap here. I don't like doing much of anything. I don't like coming off this ball. I can barely see enough of it. Going into the 14, you're going to run into the 3. I do this all the time. You'll see top players do this, but probably not quite as much as I do. What I do is I take a foul up here in this corner. So I'll come up here and look. If he tries to play this 9-15 combination, it's off angle, the cue ball is going to either run into the 14 or sell something out. He can't cut the 13 into his pocket because he's going to go into the pack. Basically, if I put him up here, what I'm forcing him to do is come with something back. He's going to either have to come off the stack and play a safety, which is going to leave you a better shot than you have right now. So I'll come up here, and I might even wet a little mark on the table where I want to be. And instead of lagging the cue ball straight to that spot, I'll go to the rail to control the speed a little better. I've lagged him onto the rail. It's his shot from here. All of a sudden I owe a ball, but he has to come with something. He's in a tough spot. You didn't really do anything. It's real simple. It'll get you out of a lot of bad situations, especially after the break. Just look and see where these balls are lined up, and you know what you can do from there. There's no way he can play the combination. There's no way he can cut the 13. He's going to have to come off the stack somehow, and you're going to get a much better shot than the shot you had before. This is a foul that I pretty much live and breathe on. Any time that this comes up, you're probably going to see me shoot this shot, especially if we each need 3. There's 5 balls on the table. We each need 3. This is my pocket, and I want to win the game with 1 shot, even though it's going to cost me 1 ball. This is what I always do. It doesn't matter if the cue ball's here, 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 here. I'm shooting the same shot, and that's this. Very simple. As long as you have the right speed, your opponent's going to be in a major trap after this shot. Simple foul. Ball comes up. All of a sudden, this ball goes in my pocket. This ball's opened up. This ball obviously goes. Obviously this ball goes. What can he do from here? This wins me the game. It's very simple. You lose a ball to win the game. I live and breathe by it. It's a great shot. How can you not shoot it? Here's one last simple situation. Let's say I'm in this position. This is my pocket. Everybody feels like in this position, or most people feel like in this position, where they've got to do something aggressive. They've got to take a chance. They could cut the 9 or play the combination or something like that. But most people's heads aren't in the spot where mine is a lot of times, or where mine should be at least, is taking a foul. Once again, you can win the game just because you're going to owe a ball doesn't mean that you're in a worse spot. Owing the ball is going to put you in a position to win you the game. That's how you have to think. And whenever you're in a bad position or a good position playing this game, you can always be in a better one by taking a foul. So I'm going to go ahead and take a foul here. All of a sudden, this guy's in a bigger trap. He can come off the 3, but the cue ball's coming up this angle. He's going to leave me a much better shot on the 9 than I had before. He could leave me a better angle on the combination. It can win me the game. I'm happy to owe a ball from here. I hope you guys learned something from this little segment. And always think that it could always be worse. I'm going to play the 6 in the corner. I'm going to leave the 2 up high for insurance in case I don't get on another ball in the right way. I'm going to come cross table, the 15, the 8, or the 14 will go. The only 2 balls I really want to leave on the table are the 13 and the 2. High and low. They're your insurance balls. Pretty much straight in on the 15. I'm going to force the cue ball up, play the 8 to where I can get an angle on the 14 and come over for the 11. Perfect example is why I want to leave the 2 there. I didn't get on the 14. That's why I want to leave the 2 there. It's an insurance ball. Guess what? I can use the 2 now. This gives me a chance to still get out. Now I got my angle on the 14. The worst thing that can happen here is if I stop my cue ball. If I force it over here, pretty much out. Out of line on the 11. That's why it's insurance to keep the lower balls there. I can shoot the 7, get an angle on the 11 up here, then I can make the 13 at the end. Insurance. That's why the low ball and the high ball are insurance balls when you're running balls. You want to leave them there no matter how good the shot looks. This is my pocket and I need all the balls. The 14 and 2 are tied up. I'm going to play the 12. I'm going to play the 6 next. I'm going to come off the rail just a hair, try and get an angle on the 8 where I can nudge the 14. That opens the 2 up. I open the 2 up, the 14 is bankable. I'm going to come high on the 7 and try and come out here to where I have an angle. I'm coming over here for the 2 or the 13. I got my angle. I'm going to make sure I pocket the ball, so I'm going to come to the rail with firmness. Now I can play the 2, and if I want, I can play an angle to here to where I can draw and get straight in on the 14, and if I don't get my angle, I can bank the 14. I got my angle, so I'm going to try and get the cue ball here, and let's see if I can get out. Best I can do. This is my pocket. I've got 2 sets of balls that are tied up, the 13 and 14, the 9 and the 5. I'm going to go ahead and cut the 15 ball into the corner pocket with high, a little bit of right hand English to try and clip the 13 out to here. I've got 2 choices here. I could either shoot the 13 and remove the 9 now, but the problem with that shot is that the 9's going to come over here, and I'm trying to get out. So I want to figure out a way to get on the 12 ball with an angle to where I can remove the 9. If I get here on the 12, I can come up and clip the 9 the same way I just clipped that ball. So I'm going to figure out a way to do that. I'm going to try and come out to the center of the table out here where I can shoot the 13 next, get out in this area. I'm going to play the 13 and I'm going to try and slide my cue ball over here so that I can break out the 9 and 5. If I break them out right now, I'm trying to get out. The 9 might get pushed that way. I've got a good angle here. I can clip the 9 ball by cutting the 12 in the corner pocket with a little bit of right hand English. I will get a shot on the 5. I don't have a shot on the 5, but that's insurance. I hit the ball perfect. I'm going to play the 2, stop my cue ball for an angle on the 5 to where I can come 2 rails on the 6. Make sure you get high enough on the 6 to where you have a shot. You don't want to stay low. Make sure you get high enough to where you have a shot. I made sure I got high enough. There's nothing wrong with that. I can cut this ball in and come 2 rails and play the 9. I came 2 rails, I'm going to play the 9 in the corner pocket. I win the game. That's money. Here's another situation. Let's say I need 8 balls. The obvious shot would be shooting the one into this pocket. I don't like that shot. It's pretty much straight in. I can draw the cue ball back and I don't have much of an angle. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance out of the gate, and I'm going to cut the 12 because I have an angle to run into these balls and open them up. I cut the 12, I made the 12, obviously opened up several balls. Now I have an angle where I could either shoot the 15 or the 9. I'm going to shoot the 9 with straight low cue ball and try and open up these balls even more. With straight low, the cue ball is going to come back and I guarantee a shot on the 15. I'm guaranteed a shot on the 15, but I'm straight in. So now I have a dilemma. Do I want to take a chance at cutting the 1 to where I get an angle on these balls, or do I want to shoot the 15? In this situation, it's too risky to cut the 1 ball in my opinion, so I'm going to shoot the 15 straight in and draw it straight back because the 7 ball goes. I got almost perfect on the 7 ball, got a little bit of an angle. The next ball I want to shoot to ensure myself to win the game is probably the 10 ball. I don't want to play that 5 ball. Remember what I said about insurance? Worst case scenario, I want to shoot that at the end. So I've got a little angle, so basically I'm just going to try and draw the cue ball out here and get a shot on the 10. Pretty much perfect here. I've got a good cut on the 10. This way I can come 2 rails, the 6 goes, the 8 goes, or the 11 goes. All you have to do in this situation is make sure you get high enough to make the 6 ball. If you get too high, you can make the 11 or the 8. I got high enough to at least make the 8 or the 11. I do not want to shoot the 11 because I could get stuck over here. The reason I want to shoot the 8 now, and this gets tedious, is because now I can take my insurance ball, but I have to have an angle. The reason I want to angle is because I can come up on the 6 or the 11. I got a perfect angle. I can use low left-hand English, shoot the 1 in the corner, draw the cue ball up, and once again, running balls is highly important to make sure you get high enough. I've got an insurance ball here now. If I get high enough, or too high, I can shoot the 11. But if I get too low, I can't shoot either ball. Well, I made sure I got high enough. Now I can shoot my insurance ball. This is where it comes up. I'm going to play the 11, have the cue ball come out here. High right hand English. I'm going to come over here and play the 6 in the corner pocket. That's how you win the game, and that's how you run the balls. This position here looks obvious to shoot the 10. Let's say I need all 8 balls. I don't like that shot. I'd rather cut the 15 in the corner, open these balls up. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get a shot on the 10. I made that shot. I got lucky. I got a shot on the 9. But that's what's going to happen when you open them balls up. Now the 4 goes, the 11 and the 12 goes. The 9 goes barely. I'm going to get an angle on the 10. I got a shot on the 10. I'm going to draw it straight back and out to where I can get on the 11 or the 12. I got a shot on the 11. I don't want to take this shot right now. I'd rather shoot the 4 and come up 2 rails, get an angle on the 2, and if I come too far, I can shoot the 11 or the 12. Like I said, if I come too far, I can shoot the 11 or the 12 or the 2. I'm going to elect to shoot the 11, come out here, get an angle on the 2. I got a perfect angle on the 2. I can shoot the 2 ball. Now I want to have an angle out here to where I can go into the stack and clip the top side of the 13 ball. I got my angle. I want to cut the 12 with high left-hand English. If I get a shot on one of these balls, I can win the game. If I do not hit the 13, I can hit the 6 and get a shot on the 1. I got a shot on the 1, I win the game. That's how 8 and out is supposed to be done. I want to take a few minutes and explain some of the end game and putting pressure on your opponent. A lot of you at home have seen me playing tournaments, and you know that I love keeping pressure on my opponent. I'm always sending balls towards my pocket, and I'm always leaving them long when the game is at the end. Here we got a situation where we each need 3 balls. There's 5 on the table. This is my pocket, that's my opponent's pocket. This is what I call the danger zone, from here to here. I like keeping balls in the danger zone, and I like keeping the cue ball up table even if they have a ball in their danger zone. If I've got a ball in my danger zone and the cue ball is up here, froze to the rail or close to it, they've got 2 options. One, they can take the ball out of my pocket, or they might not be able to resist shooting this ball. And that's a trap. It puts a lot of pressure on them. This ball is in front of their pocket. They feel like it might be easy, but at the same time, that's where the pressure part comes in. I wrote an article a couple years ago for Inside Pool about the danger zone, if most of you remember, and a lot of you liked it. So I'm just going to take a little time and show a few shots so that you can get the gist of it and understand why I do it. So basically here, situation, as I told you, is we each need 3 balls. This is basically what you could call the end game, even though they're not all up table. What I'm going to do here, or what I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to bank the 12 towards my pocket. I'm not trying to make the ball. All I'm trying to do is get it in the danger zone. I'm basically playing the cue ball somewhere in this area. What I'm going to do is tempt them to shoot this ball. That's how I play. It's part of the game. I love keeping pressure on my opponent. They've got 2 choices: shoot this ball or remove the ball that's going to be where it is. Basically, here in this situation, what are you going to do? I personally believe that a lot of players are going to want to shoot this shot. The right shot is obviously to roll this ball in, which is the 12. If this ball didn't even hang up here, let's say this ball ended up here, or this ball ended up here, they're still going to be tempted to shoot this shot. As long as you have something in the danger zone and they've got a ball out a ways, and you give them an option to shoot from the end rail, you're going to win a lot of games like that. Another situation here, I'm just going to give you a few examples because you should get the gist of it pretty quickly. It's very basic, very simple, and very effective. This is my opponent's pocket. Of course, I could come off the 4 and just leave them over there. We each need 3 balls again. This is my pocket. I'm going to do something aggressive again. I'd like to leave the cue ball up in this area. Of course, leaving them a shot on the 11. But what are they going to do if the 2 is in this area. All of a sudden the 2 is in the back of their mind. It's in the back of their mind. If they're shooting this ball and they miss it, they know that they're going to leave me a shot on this ball. So here's what I'm going to do. This ball is definitely in the danger zone. If they want to shoot this ball, of course it would be better if the cue balls froze, but they've got a lot of pressure on themselves. On a tough table, under the pressure, in a pressure situation, they're going to have a tough time pulling the trigger, making this ball. So it constantly keeps pressure on your opponent. Let's say they take the 2 ball out. I'm going to go ahead and put it right back at them. I'm going to constantly keep that cue ball up there with something in the danger zone. And it constantly keeps pressure on them, and sooner or later it will break them down. If it doesn't the first time. If they shoot it the first time, odds are they're going to hang it or they're going to miss it by a mile. And you have a chance to win the game. This is going to be the end game chapter. What I mean by the end game is when you or your opponent needs 1 to 2 balls. There's never going to be more than 3 balls in this chapter. There's going to be a couple neat shots that I show you. There's going to be a couple shots you've seen and a couple shots you'll probably pick up. So I hope you enjoy this. Here's a real fun shot. A scary shot if you're looking at it from this angle. This is my pocket. Let's just say I need all 3. I'm going to play the 10 ball 1 rail down with straight high cue ball. At the same time, the 12 is going to come across and the 1 is going to come up. The cue ball is going to kiss each ball. I'm going to hit straight high cue ball. The cue ball is going to travel this path, and you don't even have to hit this ball too hard. This shot will go from here all the way up to here. This shot comes up a lot, and I never see anybody shoot it. I will. You practice this shot at home, you're going to get the same result every time. Straight high cue ball, medium speed, just play to make the ball. You're going to get safe, and if you don't make it, they can't do anything but make it for you. This is a shot that I like to shoot every time. A lot of people know this shot, a lot of people don't. That's my pocket. I'm attempting to make the 1 ball there. The 10 will bank 1, 2, and down towards my pocket. Over and over again, I see a lot of people want this cue ball all the way out here. I've got this cue ball in the best spot it can possibly be to force that 1 down towards the corner pocket. This cue ball is a 1.5 to 2 balls to the left of the center of the table. The reason I have this ball here is for protection. What I like to do in this shot is pretend that I'm going to scratch up here. I'm going to use a low drag with the cue ball. I'm going to drag it with low, and I'm going to try, every time I shoot this shot in my head, I'm imagining drawing it back into the pocket. So if you have a ball or some balls up here, it's for added protection, and in your mind it ensures that you're not going to scratch here. But every time attempt to scratch here. It's a low drag shot. You do not want to kill this shot. You just want to hit it with a medium, nice stroke. Straight low on the cue ball. Act like you're drawing it up into the corner. This is basically what I wanted to do. Mind you, every time you shoot that shot, those balls need to be frozen, and I'm hitting about 1/4 of an inch left of center of the head ball. I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned a little. This is a neat shot I like. This is the up end of the table. This is my pocket. Let's say I need 1 ball. Even if I needed 2, I'd shoot this shot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to 2-rail bank the 9 towards my pocket. If it doesn't go, that's fine. I'm going to be using high right English. That way, after I shoot the ball, the cue ball is going to kill and come this path. The kiss is not even close. Looking at this shot, you would think, wow, this ball is going to kiss. That's a crazy shot. but you'll see in the video the kiss really isn't even close. You're about that far on each side of the kiss. Now this is a great shot I love at the end of the game. People that watch me play know how I play, know I'm highly aggressive. This is my pocket here. Automatically you'd think, well, I banked a 10 ball, one rail. Well, let's say you need all three, what would you do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to 2-rail the 11 ball. Low right hand English. If I don't make the ball, I'm going to be safe. What the cue ball is going to do is travel down here and over. These two balls are protecting me. I'm going to 2-rail the 11, hopefully making it, killing the cue ball with low right hand English, sliding over and down. I shoot this ball in a lot of different situations. These balls could be over here, this ball could be there. I'm still 2-railing it. I'm not going to bank this ball. Even if I need 2, I'm not going to bank the obvious. I'm going to bank a ball that you wouldn't think I'm going to bank. This ball will win you a lot of games. So let's just say this situation here. I'm going to 2-rail the 11 ball. This shot, you can never lose with this shot. The reason you can't lose with this shot is the end result with the cue ball is going to come off this rail and end up here somewhere. Now I can cut the 9 and then cut the 10. It's a great shot, it's aggressive, and if I don't make it, it's going to be somewhere around the pocket. Low right hand English, and if you're on this side of the table, 2-railing it this way, low left hand English. Here's another great shot I like. In all of these situations, let's just say I need all of them. But it doesn't matter. If I need 2 or more, I'm definitely going to shoot this shot. Here is my pocket, and here we have kind of a cluster and the 1 ball down here. I can't 2-rail the 9, the 10's got it hooked. The 10 is right here, the 9's here. What I'm going to play with low left-hand English, I'm going to 3-rail the 10 ball towards my pocket. At the same time, the cue ball is going to come low to this rail with left-hand English and kill and come across. I'm using this ball and that ball as protection from this ball if I don't make it, and at the same time I'm doing something aggressive. Not much can go wrong with that shot. If I don't make the bank on the 10, they can't shoot at this ball. There's a lot of pressure. And it's also blocking them. I love that shot. I'm sure you've seen me shoot it, and I hope you do too. Here's another shot. Let's say I need 3 balls. This is my pocket. A lot of you know what I'm probably going to do. A lot of you don't. I'm not going to bank this ball 1 rail and just go ahead and take my 1 and then be in trouble. The 1 and 15 are a bad spot. They're close to his pocket. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the 9 3 rails and the cue ball the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4 behind these balls. The reason I'm playing this shot is because I know the cue ball is going to be protected from these balls, so I really can't lose with this shot. Yeah, I could go ahead and make the 9 and pitter-pat my way out of this game. I would rather go ahead and just try and win the game. This is what I love about this shot. You try this shot at home, I guarantee you it's going to turn out nice. I use the low right hand English, spinning this ball down and spinning the cue ball around. Right hand English, when it catches that rail, will spin it and give it what it needs to get here. Basically, I'm going to show you a couple of basic and simple shots. You each need 1 ball. This is your pocket, what to do here. It's not too advanced, but I'm going to explain why it's a key shot. Every shot's important when you're coming down to 1 ball. What I'm going to try and do here, obviously the cue ball's here, 1 ball's frozen, even if it's not frozen. I'm just going to bank it into this rail to here and try and get the 1 somewhere in this area, leaving the cue ball in this area. The reason for that is that his next shot is going to have to do something with this ball right here. And if he tries to 1, 2, 3 rail it up to his side, he could leave you a bank into your pocket. If he tries to just bank it over to here, he can leave you a 2-railer. So there's a lot of reasons why this shot's more effective than it looks, but this is basically what you want to do. You want to get the one up in this area. Now from here, he has to do something with this ball. He could either just tap it, or he could try and bank it, but he could leave you a long cross-corner bank. He could leave you that. If he hits it weak, he can leave you a 2-railer. Here's another simple, basic shot at the end game where you each need one, and I'm going to explain why I do what I do. This is my side of the table, that's my pocket. You always want to keep the ball on your side of the table. Obviously, he's put me here. Your first instinct would be, well, you could just go straight into the one and bank it down over here somewhere. The problem with that is that if you hit it too weak, you can leave the man a 2-railer. If you hit it too hard, it could come out and leave him a 2-railer. If you hit it bad, you could leave him a 1-rail cross corner. So what I like to do, because I know the cue ball is going to stick here, is I would rather just kick the one with high right hand English, not hard. It's going to come to here and over to here. You know you're in a safe spot because the cue ball is not going anywhere. High right hand English. It's not going to send the one too far. I almost hit the shot a little bad, but I didn't sell out that bank. I guarantee you, every time, that ball is going to end up in this area. High right hand English, just medium speed. Here's another basic shot, but it's not as easy as it looks. This comes up all the time. It's not an easy shot to hit. This is your opponent's pocket. The one ball's frozen, cue ball's at the top of the table. What I'm going to do here is almost hit this ball. I'm going to hit this ball about 1/4 of an inch to the left with high right cue ball and some speed. The reason I'm going to hit it with some speed is I'm going to try and keep that cue ball within 5 or 6 inches of that rail down in that area. What the one ball I want to do is come into this pad and up into this area somewhere. So I'm taking it out of his side. At the same time, it's coming to my side of the table, and I'm going to leave the cue ball in a tougher position. High right hand English, I'm going to aim about 1/4 of an inch to the left of the one ball, and it's going to be close to a full ball hit. That's what I want to do there. Now, he can't really do much. He could try and bank the one at his pocket. There's a good double kiss in that. He's straight with the pocket. The cue ball's down in the area where the one was, and the one is also on my side of the table. High right hand English, it'll do the trick. This shot comes up all the time. This ball's a ball to a ball and a half off the rail. This is my pocket. High left hand English. I love kicking behind this ball. It's going to kick one rail and go towards my pocket. It's a tough shot to make, but most of the time you're going to be able to stick your cue ball here, leave it long, and the one should be somewhere down towards your side of the table. That shot comes up all the time. Amateurs can learn that shot. All you have to do is practice it a little bit. High left hand English if you're on this side of the table. High right hand English if you're on that side of the table. Don't be afraid to hit. Just miss the ball. Don't be afraid to hit deep into the rail, and it's going to stick the cue ball there every time. Here's another great situation where this is why I'm selling this DVDs, because I shoot a lot of aggressive offensive shots, even when the game's down towards the end. I win a lot of games where I might need all the balls and my opponent needs one, because I shoot shots like this. This is my pocket here. This is my opponent's pocket. These two balls are sort of tied up, but they both go in my hole. I can't bank the 13 straight away. I'm going to 2-rail the 14, and a lot of times you can only do this on a diamond table. This is why I love a diamond table for one pocket. It's a great table. But I'm going to 2-rail the 14 with high right hand English, hitting the 14 fairly thin. 14 is going to go 1, 2 towards my pocket. Not necessarily trying to make it, but if I do, it's a bonus, and I can win the game. The cue ball is going to spring off of this rail, come 1, and back over in this area. great shot right there. I hung the ball up. It's a bonus if I make the ball. I can win the game from there. It's another great shot. Let's say I need all three. This shot comes up quite a bit. A lot of these shots I'm showing you, you're going to think, well, this doesn't come up that often, but you're wrong. In this game, these shots come up a lot more than you think. I guarantee you, in a session of 12 hours, this shot will come up at least one time. Here's my pocket. I can't bank this ball one rail without letting the cue ball go crazy. I've got these two balls going towards my pocket. Neither of them go over there, and I need all three. I play this shot every time. What I'm going to do with high left-hand English is I'm just going to kick into the rail first. That left-hand English is obviously going to push the one that way. The cue ball is going to ricochet off the bottom of the one and come this direction behind these balls. You can win the game with this shot. That shot right there will win you the game every time. This is another variation of another shot that I've showed you guys. Basically here it's called the 50-yard line. This is my pocket. I could back cut, bank this ball to my pocket, or I could just go ahead and kick behind this ball with high left-hand English hitting this rail, and it's going to end up somewhere down here. Neither of these two balls go in my opponent's pocket, but they both go in my pocket. So kicking this ball is either going to leave the cue ball there or squirt it over behind these balls, protecting the 9 ball. That shot will win you the game every time. I love that shot. I love all sorts of little kick shots. High left-hand English, you don't have to crush the ball. Just make sure you get deep enough behind the ball to make it do what it needs to do. Here's another great situation that I like. Once again, it doesn't come up all the time, but it does come up. I'm showing you little rinky-dink kick shots that really are effective. I'm going to go ahead and kick behind this one ball, this being my pocket, with high left-hand English. Once again, I'm having you kick with high at all times because once it comes off that rail and hits this ball, it acts like low English. It will stop or kill the ball. I'm going to use high left-hand English, trying to bank this one here to there, and killing the cue ball right there behind the 11 for protection. I'm not trying to make the one, but I'm trying to put it in a spot where I can win the game by protecting the cue ball behind the 11 ball. So if I make it, it's just a bonus. This is basically all I'm trying to do here. There's no way he can hit the 1 because the 11's got him protected. It's a simple shot. You guys try this shot at home, you're going to enjoy it. High left-hand English. You notice I didn't crush the ball. It will still hold that cue ball right there. This is another nifty little kick shot. You can win the game with it. This is my pocket. I need all 3 balls. I can't cross bank this ball. It's too close to the rail. And there's no way I could hit it thick enough without double kissing. So somehow I want to make this 1 ball or get it close and have a chance to make those next 2 balls. I'm going to kick behind the 1 with high left-hand English once again. The cue ball is not going to scratch. The 1 is too close to the rail. As soon as the cue ball hits the 1, it's going to go to this rail and go down towards the bottom rail. You don't want to hit this shot hard. And the object to this shot is just getting the 1 ball close to your pocket once again. But these 2 balls are going to protect that 1 ball. If you make the 1, it's a bonus. You can win the game with this shot. I don't see a lot else you could do. You could say, yeah, I want to slam bank this ball, but most of that stuff is low percentage. This shot, you know you're going to be protected with the 11 and the 13. High left-hand English, nice and soft. Like I said, I can't make every shot, but these balls are protecting the 1, and now they got to do something to move out of that position. Well, this is a segment where I'm going to shoot some fun little nifty shots. I actually do shoot them when I'm gambling. I feel real comfortable with the shots. A couple of them I've made up on my own, and I hope you guys enjoy them. That's a fun little out. I like to shoot that shot under the steam sometimes. This is my pocket. I invented this shot. It's cost me a lot of money. I might get out. I won the game from there. This is my pocket. I need 3. I won the game. I need 4. That's my pocket. Easy as that. I need 3 again, and that's my pocket. That's how it's done on a diamond. This is definitely another crazy shot that you can only do on a diamond table, in my opinion. I'm going to bank this ball 1, 2, 3, and into my pocket here. It's a 1-pocket shot. Here's a fun shot. Some of you have seen it, some of you probably haven't. I'm going to bank the 10 to here. Cue ball's going to go 1, 2, 3, in tight behind the 14. Hopefully I can get out. Something like that. I should be able to get out from here. This is another good shot. That's my pocket. I need 3. Once again, a lot of you have seen it, and some of you probably haven't. That should win you the game every time. That'll get the cheese. One last thing, I just want everybody out there to understand that getting to be a world-class player or even a decent player doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of help sometimes, and I just wanted to thank a few people for everything they've done. Ronnie Wiseman, James Walden, Billy Cardona, Jack Cooney, Mark Vitor, and probably number one is Don McCoy. That's who raised me growing up in the pool room and took me under his wing. Des Moines, Iowa, Don McCoy. So I just wanted everybody out there to know I really appreciate all their help, and I'll see you down the road. One more thing for all you big bettors out there. Money on the wood makes the bet good. Alright, remember that. This is more of a fun segment of the video. I wanted to share a couple stories personally, a couple situations I've been in, and I've got witnesses. My back was against the wall in '98. I was playing Tang Ho, and Tang will never forget it, and neither will I. It's probably one of the luckiest situations that's ever happened to me, and also one of the best shots I've ever made, for sure, if not the best. We were racing to 5 for 5,000, playing even one pocket, and this is how the ball's laid. I'm down 4-1 in the race. I come back 4-4. Here we are. Tang needs 1. I need all 3. And that is my pocket right over here. So I guess I'm going to give you guys at home some time to think about what you would do in this position, because I had plenty of time to think. So as I walk around the table, this is my pocket. You guys be thinking about what you would have done. I'm going to remind you guys that Tang needs 1 ball. I need all 3. And it's hill for 5,000. Bunch of people watching. And Tang thinks he's got the money sewed up. And personally, so do I. I'm standing up here and I'm looking, and I don't really have any options. So I keep looking, and I'm looking, and the only option I come with, we're playing on a Brunswick, mind you, with a little bigger pockets. This table, I don't think it would be possible. But this is what I tried to do. I tried to shoot the cue ball into the 9. The 9 come down here, catch the point, double kiss them out, and send them that way. What ended up happening was, I shot the 9, hit it perfect, they double kiss, the 9 comes over, makes the 15, this ball got double kissed, comes over, and the cue ball walked all the way down to about right there. Mind you, I was down 4-1 in a race to 5. Tang needs 1, and I needed all 3. That's probably one of the best situations I've ever come across in my life where I came with the shot. Tang to this day talks about it and says that's the reason he quit pool and started poker. This is another situation. This time it happened to me. I was playing at Q Masters in Virginia Beach during the U.S. Open, playing Efren Reyes. He needs all 3 balls. That's his pocket. I need 1. That's my pocket. I don't get to shoot again. The whole pool room was closed down. There were so many people watching, literally 200 or 300 people watching. Alan Hopkins was betting 3,000 a game on me. I was betting 1,200 a game. Some of you that bought this video will definitely remember this shot. So here's what happens. I'm thinking he's going to do something with these 2 balls because this is my pocket, and he needs all 3 balls. He gets straight down, doesn't even look at these balls, cuts this ball in 100 miles an hour. Cue ball jumps up in the air, jumps back up in the air, and ends up right there. 1,200 a game. Alan Hopkins is betting 3,000 a game on me. It's the best shot I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. A few people have asked me to do this. I'm going to give you guys a few stories that have happened to me. in my past, and it'll probably continue to happen in my future. So I'm going to give you a few road stories, basically. Hope you guys enjoy it. Starting out, basically, I started playing pool right before I turned 17. Still lived at my mom's house. And one night I wanted to play so bad, and this guy told me that he'd play me some 50 a game 8-ball, so I decided to steal my mom's car. She was asleep. I put a dummy in my bed just in case she walked in. She would see and think it was me. But it didn't work. I got to the pool room. About an hour later, there's a back door, and I'm shooting a shot in the side pocket. It was the 8-ball, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I was playing a guy named Mike, the UPS man, playing 50 a game 8-ball, and I was up a game, and I was looking to win this game. I was straight in the side. I was stealing from this old man. The back door to the pool room opens up, and it's my mom. And looked like I seen a ghost. And she pointed and screamed at me, "Scott, if you shoot that shot, it's over." And the next thing I know, she just starts running after me. So I just go ahead and start to freeze. I just freeze. And she runs all the way through the pool room, and everybody's in there. You could hear a pin drop. Next thing you know, she yanks my cue from me, snaps it in half, drug me out of the pool room that night by the back of my neck. So that's one story. Another story is my girlfriend and I were saving up. I saved up like $2,500 to go to Minnesota. We had a lake home up there that we went to every year, and this was actually right when I started playing pool. I wasn't very good. Well, we'd been saving this money up for like 3 months, and it was the night before we were supposed to leave. And I told her I was going to go to Walgreens and a couple other places to get some last minute things. We all know I wasn't doing that. I ended up going straight to the pool hall. She called the pool room about 30 times. I told them to tell her that I wasn't there, obviously. Come home about 4 in the morning. She's waiting at my mom's house on the steps. Back then I had a pool cue case that had hinges on it. It was one of those older cases, and it's got hinges on it. You fold it open and closed. She tried to pull my case from me and break my cue, and as she yanked the case from me, it ripped my finger open, and all the way to the bone, the hinge caught my finger. She found out I went broke. So I've got a real good scar right here. Can you see it? Real good scar. Anyway, so that's another one. We didn't last much longer. This next segment basically is moving on up a little bit. A few years older. A little wiser, supposedly. I was on the road with a friend of mine, Ronnie Wiseman. And we were in Ocala, Florida, at a pool room called Big Daddy's Billiards. And we were trying to trap this guy named Tony Baloney. He owned a couple of Italian restaurants and had some money, and he was a good scorer. So we get there, and it was easier than I thought. We got this guy down. And what I mean by getting him down, we got him to play. And we had, I'll never forget it, we had $8,200 to our names. That was our bankroll. And we were a long ways from home. We were staying around Michigan at that time. So I had to play good. We started out playing $1,000 a game, but the catch was that I was giving up 9-6 the break, and this guy's scratches didn't count. So he could push the cue ball anywhere he wanted, and he shot. It was unbelievable. I didn't know how to play the game. There's a certain style to play the game. There's a certain way to play the game when you're giving a guy his scratches don't count. And it took me a while to figure that out. And I was learning as I was playing. Well, we're playing $1,000 a game, and this is no lie. I lose the first 7 games. So, turn around to Ronnie, and he's pointing for me to come over here, Ronnie Wiseman. And I go over to him, and he says, "Listen, we got to quit. We don't have any money to get home on if we lose this next game. We've just got to quit." Meanwhile, this guy was getting ready to break the balls, and I'm about 20 feet away from the pool table. I tell Ronnie, I said, well, gosh, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of this game. And he tells me, you got no chance. And he's not real happy with me. He didn't quite say it like that. Well, I turn around to tell this guy, Tony, that I'm going to quit, and he just broken the balls. And the cue ball kisses off another ball and scratches in the corner, and a ball goes in front of my pocket. And I looked at Ronnie and I said, hey, I got to play this game. So, what was it? Probably about 44 hours later, I was 86,000 winner. So, that was one of my better stories. Here's another couple good stories real quick. Jack Cooney, in my opinion, best hustler to ever live. Smartest. His partner Barbara was probably even smarter. They were a couple, and they're still together to this day. And they were on the road for a lot of years, making a lot of money. I'd heard who Jack Cooney was, and I always kept an eye on him. He used to come to tournaments in Olathe, Kansas, and I would just keep my eye on him and watch him and see what he would do. And he wouldn't do much. He'd drink coffee and read the newspaper. Unless he thought he was stealing, then he'd have some sort of game for you. Well, he didn't know who I was, really, and I thought I was a great player, and I was like 20 years old at the time. I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but I was a straight shooter. I didn't miss many balls. And if I had 300 in my pocket, it was in play. If I had 3,000 in my pocket, it was in play. At this particular time, I had $170 on me. And so I decided to go up to Jack and ask him if he'd like to play some. If he would give me 10 to 8 and play some 150 a game. Well, about 6 hours later, I'm like 8,000 winner. I'd won like 15 games in a row at 150 a game. He kept asking me to raise the bet, and I kept saying no, 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 and I finally raised it when I was up like 15 or 16 games. Then we bet 300 a game. I go to the bathroom real quick, and each game I won, you could see Barbara, his other half, she started getting madder and madder. Each game I won, she was going crazy. She probably had a sense that I only had like 150 bucks on me, and that's what we were playing for per game. So I took quite a short shot at him. I go to the bathroom real quick, and the bathroom is right by the table we're playing on, and we're in Shooters in Olathe, Kansas. True story. A lot of people know about this. I'm in the bathroom like 2-3 minutes. I take a leak. I go wash my hands. I was washing my face off. And I really didn't hear anything or notice anything until I got right outside the bathroom door, and there was a pair of glasses that were shattered. I mean, the rims were busted up, and the eyepiece was out. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look up, and Jack's over there sitting in the chair, and he's just like this. And I said, Jack, what's wrong? And he said, Barbara just left. She just punched me in my glasses, punched me in my face, so that I couldn't play anymore. So he was probably going to blow 20 or 30,000 to me at that time, whatever they had on. And it's pretty funny. I mean, I saved the glasses. They're actually in my house in Iowa. But to this day, I've got the glasses, and the reason that she punched him is so that he couldn't see anymore, because he was a through ticket. He was going to go ahead and shoot all his money at me. But that's how I met Jack, and after that we became real good friends. Barbara and Jack obviously got back together the next day, and we didn't play much anymore. We started traveling together. So the best trip I can remember was in Dallas, Texas. Jack was my dad and Barbara was my mom, and I was going to a college there, a little small college there in Texas, supposedly, and I was going to play this guy named Mr. Kim. He was an Oriental guy, and he had a bunch of billiard tables, and he had a couple 9-foot tables. Mr. Kim only liked to play 50 a game. He played 50 a game 9-ball every day till you could drop. So the first day I go in, and we played even, and I beat him out of like 800 or 900 at 50 a game. Long story short, I ended up giving the guy the 6 on the last 4 or something like that after about a week of playing. And I'm up probably 10, 11, 12,000. Long story short, I end up beating him. The next thing you know, he turns around and asks my dad if he wants to play some. So that was a great story. Jack never would spot him. Never did spot him anything. Beat him for like another 3 or 4 days. And then he made us leave. Jack made us leave. He wouldn't spot him. He could have spotted him in the 8 and worked his way down, but that's just how he was. He was probably going to go back later on and get all the money. But there's a couple Jack stories.